everybody, I'm Tim's wife. I do have a name, but most people know me as Tim's wife. Today I want to talk to you about what it's like living in the shadows of your husband's name, or your spouse's name, or it could be a sibling's name. Somebody who people usually know more than you. Is it a good thing? Is it a bad thing? Let's talk about it. Welcome to Sawdust and Cornbread. If you're a first-time guest, be sure to like and subscribe to the channel. I put out new content every week. So we've already established that I'm Tim's wife. Is that a good thing or a bad thing? In my eyes, that is a great thing. However, there are times when you kind of feel like you disappear in the shadows. Do you have a spouse or a sibling or maybe a parent who is well known? My husband is an awesome, outgoing person. He has an excellent voice. He's in front of the church singing almost every Sunday, plays guitar. He works with some really great people. He's around people a lot. I, on the other hand, tend to be a little bit quieter, a little bit behind the scenes, and I am quite fine with that. I'm not as outgoing. YouTube I can do because I can't see all of you in front of me. I'm not hugely shy, but I'm comfortable kind of being in the background. Does that mean I don't have a name? Not necessarily. I still have a name, and it always feels good to hear your name when someone's talking to you and to be recognized. Now, I've had several instances in my life where my name wasn't known. In school, when I was younger, I was accidentally chosen to be in a program that somebody a little more outgoing was supposed to be. We had a big May Day celebration every year at our elementary school where they would put up a maypole and we'd all dress in our cute little dresses and suits and have ribbons and go around the maypole and decorate it, and there would be dances and performances. Well, the teacher mistakenly sent me. There were two Lauras in our room, Laura and Laura, but we'll get to the name differences here in a minute. Well, it was supposed to be Laura. I'm Laura. I was so excited and I couldn't believe I was chosen. And when I walked in, I was there with my little partner. There was a girl and a boy from each room. And I overheard the teacher say, "That's the wrong one." And of course, she was talking about me. I was the wrong Laura, and she didn't know I heard her say that. She didn't know that I still remember that, but it hurt a little bit to know that I wasn't the one that was chosen. To be honest, I can't remember anything else about that maypole dance. I don't remember if I did it. I don't remember if they swapped out the right Laura, but I do remember being chosen as the wrong one. There was another time that we were in a church. I'm not going to mention any names or anything, but there was a pastor there that had known me for a good portion of my life, and he had also known my husband, and of course my husband's on stage and known a little bit better, and I'm fine with that. But the pastor was up front praying for different people in the church, different leaders, and all of the leaders and their spouses came up. And he was praying for my husband, God blessed him. And he started praying for me, and he said, "And Tim's wife, be with Tim's wife." And I don't hold any ill will toward the pastor. Pastors have hundreds, if not thousands, of names to remember. Although he had known me for quite a long time, it probably just slipped his mind. But in that instance, something so funny happened. Somebody in the audience or in the congregation that knows me said, "Lori, it's Lori," which I thought was so sweet because he wanted the pastor to know that I do have a name. My name is not Lori, it's Laura. But that's okay. It was really, really kind and thoughtful of him to interject that because he wanted me to feel special, like I have a name. So yes, sometimes it does hurt a little bit when people don't know your name. If people introduce me as Laura, or if I walk into a room, they're probably not going to know me as Laura. They're going to know me as Tim's wife. In my case, I'm fine with that because my husband is an outstanding citizen. He is a man of God. Being Tim's wife is quite an honor and a privilege. However, I do understand some of the negative emotions that come along with not being known or being kind of living in the shadows of your spouse or your sibling or something like that. Some of you may be a pastor's wife, or you may be a pastor's kid. You may just have a sibling that always seemed to do these incredible feats. Maybe they were an athlete or a great dancer, or, they did all these things, or they were awesome academically, and you've always just been kind of so-so. It's hard sometimes because we compare ourselves, or we kind of lose our own identity. In times like that, what do? Well, what I have found the best thing to do, for one, is to count my blessings and to be grateful for the awesome man that my husband is, but also to remember how great I am in what God has created in me. He has done a good work in me, and He has done a great work in you as well. Think about the talents, the abilities, the skills that God has given you. And think of how wonderfully you and your spouse or your sibling or your parents are able to work together because you're different. If Tim and I were the same, we couldn't get nearly as many things accomplished. Tim's at the church a whole lot of time. If he had to do everything at home that I take care of as well as those responsibilities, something would have to give. The house would fall apart, or he wouldn't be able to minister in church. So we're a team. We play off each other. We work off each other, and I'm fine being in the background. Another thought. I have in the past been kind of on stage some, singing and in competitions and stuff. There are those times when, of course, everybody sees my husband on stage, so they know who he is. I'm in the background, usually doing sound or something, that needs to be done. I'm much more comfortable there. But there was a point in time that I was on stage, and there may be again, that I'm singing. And one thing that I struggle with, it might be the same with you, is that when you live with someone, whether it be a spouse, a sibling, a parent, whatever, that is a very strong personality, a very likable, lovable person, and they're outspoken, or at least they may not be outspoken, but people listen to them and they look up to them. Sometimes you feel like your voice is very small. And for me, that is quite literal. My voice is tiny, and I have had voice lessons, things to make me calm and, to help me in front of crowds and stage fright. But regardless, no matter what I have tried, when I get in front of a group and I start to sing, I'm very quiet. My voice is very, very quiet. I've tried to sing with support. I've had coaching. There's something about being in front of an audience. Call it stage fright. Call it what you want. But I become a mouse. I become very quiet. And they say that, well, that's what the microphone is there. I can eat a microphone, and it seems like my voice is still small and tiny. Kind of like the times when my husband's recognized and I'm not. I feel small and tiny. And I know some of you can relate. Not complaining, I'm just putting it out there like it is, because this is life, and I know there are people who can relate to me. Well, something really neat recently happened. I was thinking about all of this, and every now and then my husband's like, well, when are you going to get back up on stage and sing? And honestly, a big part of it is our church has all of these awesome lights and different effects, and I get migraines almost every time I'm on stage because of all the flickering and changing and stuff going on around. So that's the main reason that I stopped singing. But I will admit, in the back of my mind, I'm always thinking, my voice is so small anyway. Does it even make a difference? Does it matter? I was thinking and praying about all of these things the other week, and it was so strange because my husband came to me and said, if somebody asked you if you would sing on stage again, would you? And I said, well, I would consider it. And then I went on to explain to him how strange it was that he would ask that, because I had just had a conversation with God. I had been on a walk just down the road here, and I was thinking about my voice and how quiet it was in comparison to others. Bad idea. Never compare yourself to other people, because you do matter. But I was just thinking, my voice is so soft and so quiet. Am I really even making a difference? And then guess what I heard in my heart, in my spirit? Not a shouting, boisterous, terrifying sound, not a big, boisterous voice, not loud trumpets, not anything like that. I heard a still, small voice whisper to my heart and to my spirit, I speak in a still, small voice. What can I say? When God speaks to our hearts, it's not usually out loud. It's not even usually through a prophecy that somebody comes and tells us what God says. He speaks in a very soft, still voice in our hearts and our spirits. And what that said to me is that if God, and I'm not saying that I'm God, but if God can speak to us in a still, small voice and it make a difference, then why can't my small voice make a difference as well? Is this all a declaration that now I'm going to be in front of the church singing every Sunday? No. I am still dealing with migraines, and I am feeling very good about my position in sound room, helping with the sound. God has given me a talent to hear harmonies, to hear things that some people can't pick up on, and I'm trying to use that gift in helping to improve the sound on live stream. Will I ever get back on stage? It's possible. It's something I would have to pray about. But at least now God has spoken to me in a still small voice and let me know that even small voices matter and that you matter. So if you are living in the shadows of your spouse, I'm not saying that you're a failure. I'm not saying that you just don't measure up. I'm just saying sometimes you feel a little unseen or unknown. Maybe they don't know your name even. I'm here to tell you that you do matter, that it's okay to feel that way sometimes. That doesn't mean you're a selfish, terrible person. It means that you're human. And it probably means that you're doing something right. Not that we're to be trodden on and taken advantage of, but a good dose of humility does us some good. And if your spouse is involved in ministry, a lot of times they need you to be in the shadows. I've heard this stupid cliche my whole life that the wife is the one that turns the husband's head or something like that, that we hold them up. I really don't care for cliches. It really is off-putting to me. However, your husband, your parents, your sibling would not be able to accomplish all the things that they're doing without you. They need that small voice, that person living in their shadows to help them. It may feel like here on earth sometimes that you're just a nameless, faceless silhouette going about your daily tasks, trying to get done what you can do, and that you're not making a difference. But rest assured that in heaven, everything that you do is being seen. Everything that you say is being heard. Whether it's out loud or in your heart, God knows these feelings, these sacrifices that you are making so that the ministry or the sport or whatever it is can go on. And maybe in some cases you're a mom and you feel like a silhouette living in the shadows of your children. You are doing the most important job on this earth. And those young years when you're running back and forth, when you're picking up toys, when you're cleaning up vomit, when you're going to the daycare center or to the pediatrician's office, and you yourself look like a wreck and your kids are pristine and taken care of and fed, let me tell you, those years are short. They will be done before you know it. And then you'll be looking back longingly, believe it or not, wishing they were little every now and then. It's also kind of nice to have them be older. Your day is coming, Mom. So whatever situation you're in, whoever light you are making brighter, whoever you are living in the shadows of, rest assured you're not alone. and that you are making a difference. Even a still small voice can be powerful. Thanks so much for joining me. Be sure to like and subscribe if you found this video encouraging. I put out new material every week. See you next week. God bless.